That happens. You just go
Hold on. You got that thing recording, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Hey!
Hello.
Hey!
Oh, that was true. I should do a mic check.
This is Vaughn Holmes, huh?
Yeah, no shit.
You know what?
Well, I'm over here with Danny. We're recording you for a podcast they're doing.
What? Don't record this. Take me on speakerphone. You record me in a minute.
Oh, no, you got to come over here. That's what we called you for.
Who called me? Nobody called me.
You called me.
Well, that's what I meant to say.
I called you. Hey, take me on speakerphone.
No, we're talking about Pizza Hell. What do you guys say about Pizza Hell?
Wait, what now?
We're talking about Pizza Hell. What do you got to say?
I think it's wonderful and awesome and the best record label of all time ever.
Bullshit. Tell us what you really think. It's garbage.
Like 99% bullshit. Maybe there's a couple of things that on there that are me that are okay, but other than that, it sucks donkey nuts.
I like it. That's like the best and the worst. That one sounded more awesome, honest though.
I think that it's just true love that makes you say that.
That's right.
I will say that every show that I've been to and everything I've been to that is associated with Pizza Hell, you've been there.
Yeah, I try to show my support to my friends, family, stuff like that. You know, it's just like having a 5-year-old kid. Like, you gotta go see them bang on the piano or whatnot.
Nah, I disagree with that.
Hey man, well, bring your typewriter out next time we do something. I hadn't seen that in a while.
No, I'm ready. We're gonna play. The stuff me and Austin's doing really good too.
Nice.
And yeah, no. If you need a plug for all that, when you get done with the podcast, call me because I've got your present.
Awesome.
Christmas present in the house.
Yay! Christmas trees.
I got to be that guy's friend.
Shit. All right.
Giving you presents in June.
Nice.
Yeah, I like doing Christmas in June because I don't believe in Jesus.
Right on. All right. That's awesome.
I'm talking to Adams and he's got me on a fucking podcast right now. Just talk to Adams and I'm on a fucking podcast.
There you go.
Pizza Hell.
Perfect timing as usual, man. You're always there whenever something big's going down. You got a sixth sense about that shit.
Yeah, so he called you.
Anyway,
That's impressive.
That's right. All right, I'll call you later, buddy.
all right, later.
Well, that's awesome.
And that's true. Usually,
Now-
whenever some big goods now.
Now, I met him at the post-punk Mutant Musician,
so one of the recent ones from spring.
the first one,
Yeah, 19.
and he was the most hyped person in that crowd.
Oh, he's hyped as hell.
He was super hyped. Very cool dude.
Wait,
If I
I've asked him
remember
about or he's told me about, I go out there and I stupid just because I know that whenever I'm on stage, that's what I would want out of my audience and
Right.
But I noticed that he only really goes out the stuff that he's really down for. Like whenever Jack Oblivion came out, he was all over that guy, just fanatical about that guy.
Jack Oblivion.
Jack Oblivion, like from Memphis.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then the Oblivions were that. He did a solo project after that. It was an amazing show, man.
Well,
Soba.
who that kind of reminded, because I want to kind of keep it like a local issue, but right off the bat, to get it out the way, like throughout your life, who have been this is the cliche music question, who have been your favorite artists?
The first song that I remember very well was Sweet Dreams by the Eurythmics.
Nice.
And then I found music again whenever it was Nirvana, Smell Like Teen Spirit, but also Come As You Are.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely.
That changed the face of music.
Yeah. When I got to college, I got into all the weird, noisy shit. So, that was, holy shit. See.
Well, that brings me back to when I met you. You were in college.
Yeah.
And I had never been really introduced. The closest thing I'd ever been introduced to noise was Nine Inch Nails.
Well,
Right.
yeah, same for me. Whenever I heard Nine Inch Nails come out, it kind of got me like, oh, what's this?
But I had no idea of the level that it went. Even so much that I would start checking out Skinny Puppy or
Yeah.
these other crazy, not even industrial now, because that's kind of where my tree of knowledge grows from, you know. But you were the first person that I ever literally knew that was making it.
Yeah.
And it was kind of a shock to me when I first sat down and listened to it, because I was like, you know, I'm a hip hop kid.
Oh yeah.
And at the time, and
see, it's
I couldn't
interesting
imagine
about
it.
hip hop is that it's more noise-like than it used to be back in the day.
Well, it incorporates everything. It's always been that way.
but
but
it's
then
also
again,
ASMR. Yeah.
so is punk, right?
But not to the different ambient, noisy kind of perspective it's gone on to today.
Right.
And incorporating just like clicks and like simple tasks, or even just like out of this world kind of sounds that seem atmospheric, but you got this guy really like fucking killing it on the track.
Right.
Anyway,
It's
like,
two
yeah.
different things, you know.
Yeah, but it is funny how back in the day, like noise was something I sought out. It kind of came from the same Nine Inch Nails, from early Manson, Marilyn Manson kind of stuff, and then I walked into Infernal Racket down here in downtown Augusta. Way back when it used to be here.
That was in the the late '90s, early 2000s.
There you go.
That was a long time ago.
Harry, who was running the shop, I walked up to him. I was like, man, I heard all this weird stuff in here before. I was wondering if you had anything that was just like evil noise kind of thing. He's
Nice.
like, yes. And he gave me I got 2 albums from Swan's Soundtrack for the Blind, which that fucking changed my world. And Cutliff Jungland, I think it was. It's way off. I think he's a British guy that
Right.
just did.
It sounds Norwegian, maybe.
No, definitely British. But like the sounds is just like screaming and like hard driving, like insane type beats with Cutliff Jungland. But to listen to that stuff and then Skinny Puppy and everything, that really influenced me. And back in college, like when I had the opportunity, I would use that as examples. Like my first class, like theory or whatever, we were asked to bring something with a beat. And I was like, I knew for the Soundtrack for the Blind really had no beat, but it had a pulse to it.
Yeah.
And I brought that in. He was playing it, and I was like, all right, where's the beat? And someone was like, there's no beat. There's nothing there. And he's like, no. And I could use it as an example. And then in a pop class, I used like Skinny Puppy, and actually people dug that. They were into that kind of stuff. I was surprised.
It's definitely. I mean, I don't know necessarily from experience personally, but I know that maybe you didn't see it that way when you were making the music that you were making, or back then. But you were doing something different than everybody else was doing. Like literally nobody else around was making the music that you were making. And it's interesting to see that flash forward 20 years now, maybe 18 or something like that.
Right.
What you've kind of fleshed out of all of it.
I mean, it's been mostly just me standing out and feeling weird, because I always kind of felt like I stood out anyhow. Finding other people that tend to stand out, like yourself and like my friend Corinne that I found back in college too, like that, and finding more and more of those people around town. It's surprising. It's wonderful. It's kind of like, all right, there's some other weirdo out there that enjoys, what I enjoy out there. It brings a perspective.
How deep is the catalog so now at this point for Pizza Hell, the label, which is what we're talking about?
It's close to 20, so there's a lot of the Noise Day 13 compilations, live albums, definitely the No Funny / post-punk Mutant Musicians projects,
which are amazing.
Yeah. So and really meeting Jason Walter and Rick Stallman, like that helped boost it. Back in the day, we were pretty much all in different bands, and I had this idea to put out like a zine for the town.
Mm-hmm.
And that's how I thought about like who would be good contributors to it, like send them messages and like, hey, let's meet. And it ended up all of them were down for it and really into it.
Yeah.
So
I mean, I know for sure. I'm not sure about anybody but I've talked to Jason Walter, and he's definitely got that mindset.
nice.
Let's get it done.
Definitely.
He definitely does.
And I kind of felt like I needed that too. Like
Mhm.
I wanted to get all this stuff done, and that's what drug me away from 666 was that they were kind of aloof about it, and rightfully so. They were having fun with it, but I still wanted something out of the town and be able to contribute something as well. So whenever I met those two, Jason, and we sat down and wrote Lorenzo for Gloom Cocoon.
Mm-hmm.
That was like boom, this is it.
Yeah.
The music collaboration has begun.
And now, how long has it been that you guys have been working together?
About 3.5, 4 years, I
Yeah.
think.
It's pretty good.
That's not bad,
Yeah,
man.
that's pretty good for
But like Rick Stallman, when he was in Low Creek Killers at the time,
Mhm.
and so I knew he was a badass bass player. And I brought him on. I was surprised, like he wanted to do anagrams for the zine and write reviews as well about some of the music going on.
Mhm.
I think he was working at Soul Bar for a time too. So
I think every good musician in this town, maybe even like the likes of me, have been through the Soul Bar.
Of
I mean,
course,
there's
man.
a lot we could talk about the Soul Bar as far as history-wise, because it was there when I was a kid.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
It's the only one that is still there, maybe. I don't know.
It's like that place, Not Your Mama's and Joe's Underground.
Yeah, Joe's has always been there.
Yeah.
See, I don't have a lot of knowledge about Joe's. You have way more knowledge about it.
That's where like that's where I met Vaughn. Vaughn Holmes
Right.
was at Joe's. And he had open mics, and I went for it there. Yeah, and that was kind of the birth of like me Bad Eye out of that too.
Yeah, I see. That's one that I totally. I'm
Yeah.
sorry, but that slipped my mind. I listened to that quite a bit. Just a quick story about me Bad Eye was it's a rough sound. It's not
Right.
it's got an edge.
Right.
And I'm with my girlfriend. All she listened to was rap. So I would have to like kind of sneak it in there to get it in, But it makes you feel like a kid again in many, many ways.
That's cool.
Like that's kind of what I really love about the sound of what you've been doing with the post-punk and the Gloom Cocoon, is because it sounds like classic good rock,
Yeah.
but punk. And I mean, if you would care to elaborate on, well, is that like a choice? Or I mean, did y'all like design the sound, or did you just get together and just make something rad?
We kind of started off with Jason's songs. He already had a bunch of songs set up, and it would just Gloom Cocoonified them and everything. Like it always brought like a different perspective into that band, and all of us shared in writing. So we were able to do like 60 something songs within the years we've been together.
Well, that's crazy.
And covering over 50 cover songs. Sheesh.
That the recent cover album is what's it called?
Covers.
Covers. I got the cassette in my boombox over there.
Nice, man.
There were several of them on there that I knew.
Yeah.
And I think that's a awesome balance, is to find songs that people don't know
Oh yeah.
too. And I had this discussion with somebody else recently, that you should never cover a song that nobody knows.
Right. Right.
They say it's pointless, right?
Yeah.
But that's not. I think that it gives a texture. I want to say that just listening to Gloom Cocoon's records, that you don't just go for song, you have an overall art in sound, right?
Yeah. Definitely, especially in the later albums, man. Like
Yeah.
the last album, it was just like crafted. So like, but it's weird. sometimes it's we just all bring in songs and they somehow like lock in together with it, and then in other cases we start building like multiple songs as well, and that's always fun. Like we planned out for Pizza Ghoul 6 that we do 3 Pizza Ghoul songs, and each one of us like we're the primary writer of that song. And Pizza Ghoul 3 that was a good one to start off with, just because it was all 3 of us singing on it. But Rick came up with that riff. Like, it's just a mean fucking riff.
Yeah.
Simple as hell, but just mean.
Yeah. And that's off of the first Pizza Ghouls record, right?
Yeah, Pizza Ghoul 6.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where did you come up with the name? This is another very cliche question. I apologize. You should never ask this question.
Well, we're gonna ask it. We're gonna break the rules.
Breaking the rules. Where'd you come up with the name Pizza Hell?
I'm trying to remember that. Rick Stallman also had a huge part in the building of that, the idea of it and everything like that. Because we were talking about from our first record, like what the studio of my house was going to be called. And during that time, Jason had all these free Domino's gift cards. Like, he had a ton of them. So he kept ordering pizza every time that we meet. And then I think we were talking about pizza. Rick was talking about if you're in pizza hell, like you don't. Is that while you're waiting on the pizza or after you've eaten the pizza?
That's funny.
So,
I mean, it's really interesting now that just from saying that, how to apply that to how Mutant Musicians came about in that same. There's a lot of pizza references.
Well, yeah. After all of that, I think that started influencing what Jason was doing with No Funnies and everything. And I'm trying to remember if he already had a pizza theme dude, Pizza Perry, or how it all came in. But totally like made sense with like the whole situation.
I'm sure he'll remember because I can interview him before here long.
Oh, definitely.
And I don't know. I love that stuff that you guys are doing with that.
Well, thank you.
I wish that it just keeps going and on and on and on. I really do. I hope it does.
That's what Jason was talking about. Like he feels like he's in heaven or in bliss, like just with the animation going on, showing that, and then working towards the next one. Like I feel him on it too, man. It's always good to see that. Whenever I'm getting videos from him and I'm gonna attach music to the backgrounds, it's like, oh boy, it's all coming together. Yeah. All right, it's for this whole shit.
I think the first time you feel that feeling is when you first make your good song,
Yeah.
And the first time you actually hear it after mixing it.
Yeah.
Do you have any big moments since you've been doing Pizza Hell records?
Big moments?
Big moments that remind you of that feeling that you get. Like you were just about to say, I interrupted you. That could have been one of them, but just like maybe a couple of things that have happened in that time where you just knew that okay, this is it right here. I like this where I'm at, or maybe are you even like attached to the path that you set up for yourself?
No, there's definitely been great moments. Weird ones whenever you have that realization while things are going on, like how fucking cool this is, having the noise shows every time we do like a noise day release or something like that has been fantastic, especially doing the analog choir the way we have been doing, and just everybody's efforts. Corbett K9, who I'm wearing tonight too, being part of that shit.
You gotta turn it to the camera.
Corbett K9!
Now what is that?
That's that was the if you came to one of the shows, I think he was at Post Punk. He does like 5-minute things, like 5 minute
He was on
show.
the compilation.
Yes, yeah, he's been on like a couple of Pizza Hell compilations and everything.
That was pretty hardcore what he put on the last the noise release. I think if I'm correct.
Yeah, man. Because we had the Noise Day 13s. And we also did that 15-minute challenge, which you and Rachel were part of as well.
That was a really awesome thing to be part of. It. I think it's great that you do that kind of thing to engage the people around here.
That's always what I've wanted to do, is get people jamming out. And I've had other people send the same invitation. It's just kind of like, all right, if we got all these creative folk in Augusta like we do, let's continue being creative and enjoy the fact of just creating anything.
Mm-hmm.
So it's totally like unrefined and unforgiving kind of shit that's coming out, but it's also pretty beautiful in itself. Like, I'm pretty amazed by the what's available here in the city.
Yeah, I love this town a lot, and it's kind of a new love. It's it kind of gets a segue into one of my pro questions here.
Uh-oh.
Is what do you think of the climate of musicians in this town?
Before we answer that, I'm gonna have to ask for another beer.
Okay, we're gonna go get. I'll get you one, bro. And I don't just mean as far as like are they nice people? I mean, like, is there disconnect between artists in this town? Like, is there a separation of? You think that there's room to get together? Try that. Tastes like bread.
You got an opener?
Here, I got you.
Got a lighter? I cannot do that.
Woo! Gotta watch your eyeball.
You do. Thank you, man.
So yeah, we're sitting down and
Cheers.
cheers to you.
Mm.
We did that again. We need to do it louder.
Yes.
Rock.
Village.
That's what happens.
Roar.
That's what happens when you're rocking without instruments. We're down in the Metal Thumb Raw Butter Studio. We don't have a name for it.
You don't have a name for your studio yet?
I like to call it the place where I come get drunk and make music.
That's a long title, but I'll go for it, yeah.
Yeah, it's where sometimes I smoke. That's gonna be the name of it. So I guess I got to come up with an anagram for that. Is that
Pretty
anagram?
much.
Is that the right
We
word?
gotta anagram it.
And we're here with Mr. Adams Mitchell. Is it Mitchells or Adams Mitchell?
Adams Mitchell.
And he is the owner, would you say? Or
Might as well be
the
on
guy
this
that runs my favorite label in this town. Maybe the only label I actually know in this town.
I mean, there's not a lot of people that throw themselves out there and just create a label.
And you've thrown yourself all the way into it.
I mean, yeah, it didn't seem like a hard choice to make, really. Like, just kind of building an umbrella of cool stuff that's going down.
Mm-hmm.
Because I felt like, putting everything out individually that each one of us was doing is kind of like not really gonna make it fly. Like putting everything underneath the umbrella, getting other people to do special things with it.
What do you think of the scene here in Augusta, the music scene? Because to me, I like a lot of what a lot of people do.
I have a lot of love for what it's done.
There's so many great artists in this town.
Absolutely.
I'm not even like people off the top of my head. You guys, Gloom Cocoon. I like Possum Ride a lot. I like Celia Gary.
I do. Do as well. Celia Gary's been around for a moment too.
And she's super talented.
It's super cool.
Yeah.
I like Traumgeist a lot.
Traumgeist is just recently hearing those guys.
Oh man, I've known those guys for a minute too, and all of them are fucking awesome.
Yeah.
So, out of Traumgeist, you've got In the Sun, which is Austin's noise side project, and you got Clark, who's I always fuck his name up, so I'm sorry, Clark.
Delush.
No. His noise is Chuck Tulix.
Is that the name of it?
I think so.
That's
He's on the compilations as well, but I always fuck his name up, so I know I'm gonna get it wrong. I love him to death though. He makes his own noise machine, so he's the quiet.
Oh, he builds
maker.
machines?
He builds his own stuff.
That's
pretty
cool.
much.
That's very cool.
We just need to mic him up next time because he was like, I don't need mics, and I was like, because it's awesome what he's doing, but you just have to get in close and be absorbed in it.
Yeah, I definitely think that mics are pretty important when it comes to making music. What ifs? Like, I guess the question I was asking you though is like,
The sense of the scene being separated.
do you feel it? Because I see several really great people and they're almost in cliques. Do you have any?
I think you find what you like, and you like what you like. And I think, some people work better with others, and that's what I always think about whenever I'm trying to bring people together for projects and shit. And
Well, the first time I heard of Gorganis
yeah,
was through you.
It was probably the house show that Jeff, we were playing a house show with him, and I heard about Gorganis for a while. I was
Right.
like, the dude's always awesome. Always enjoy like the show that he puts on and the person that he is. So, yeah, like.
So
That's
I mean,
awesome that you guys connected.
that's what I think is important that for any audience to be listening to is that you're not just like pumping punk music, and you're not just trying to make a glam. You push the scene all over.
Try to, yeah.
There's people that I won't mention that push other scenes, but it seems like they won't even push anything else besides their clique. And that's, in Augusta, I mean.
Yeah, I think I
It's
see
not
that you
the
have
fact-
like different factions that are working, but I don't know, man. I think it just depends on like who you reach out to as well, and how receptive they are. There's people I'd love to work with again, and there's people that I think it probably wouldn't work out. But yeah, you just choose your battles within it. And
Would you care to give any? Just kidding.
Yeah,
give any
right,
names?
I don't hold any like ill will or hatred.
Right.
Like whenever I see a scene, and I think it's like this in a lot of scenes. People gripe and bitch about like, oh, everybody's in a clique for it, but like maybe you just got to find your clique and not worry about what others are doing, or like what kind of talent and what can you bring to the table with it. And I think artists respect that. Whatever you can bring in and make people jam with. Like hopefully good artists do, and bad. I feel like bad artists get jealous and think, "Well, I'll take you down."
Right.
It's like, no, man. It's Japanese rivalries. You want to see. You both want to succeed. You both want to be badasses, but you want to be badasses at the same level.
I think that's kind of what I was kind of digging at was that, I don't see. I think that's one of the things I like about you're open to that.
Right.
Like I can't say that for other people that I've talked to. A lot of other people, not just, but I'm not, I think you're broader than a clique.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Well, and what tells me that is when the first show that I went to with you guys, it was artists there, and it was a pizza hell. I mean a post-punk show.
Oh, okay. So.
But there were artists there. There was, just all kinds of people,
Yeah.
and they all come together behind this thing. I don't know. Do you feel like Augusta could use more of that, like more solidarity?
More cross-platforming.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's what it is.
Yeah,
Like,
that is exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, that's really what it means. Like, just finding those people that would work in. Like, don't just have a single media. Make it like a fun festival. You have to be able to get anybody interested in things around here. Like, it has to have some sort of theatric or some complete package feeling to people to come out. Because it's tough getting people to shows.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's easier to do with this type of underground and just gritty kind of stuff. Because that's the one thing I'm open to everybody, but it's kind of like, I don't know.
Well, I mean, you have your sound.
Yeah.
But I don't think that you apply your sound to say another one of your label bands. I don't think you apply your sound to Pepper Spray.
No, they have their own
They
sound.
have their own sound.
Totally.
Yeah.
Yeah, when it comes to the recording and everything, it's more about like, look, do you want a studio that does it on the cheap for minimum wage per hour and like get your raw or garagier kind of sound with what you're doing?
Mm-hmm.
I feel like it's that type of label that attracts that. Because yeah, you see my studio, it's maybe 1/10 of what you have here.
Just for the record, I have a warehouse studio.
There's all kinds of lights flashing around.
We have a disco platform. No, it is definitely a lot packed into a little space.
Yeah.
Not this studio, but
The
the
Pizza Hell studio. It's basically a room, and then we can expand out if we need to record in like little other places. That kind
Do
of
you
thing.
record in your living room and run the wires up the stairs?
Well, the good thing about the studio too is that it's portable. So whenever we recorded Pepper Spray, we actually did that in the Epicenter, and that was a help with Chicken Shack Studios. That ended up becoming Rick's studio that he's been putting stuff under. He had like the equipment that he brought in, and then I was sitting there like producing everything while he was engineering the recording.
I remember seeing him recording, and I thought it was really awesome that he was using GarageBand.
Yeah,
I thought that was really cool. I was, that's you're getting it done, bro.
Or on the other hand, I used something called Traction that kind of came free, like,
Right.
with a couple of plugins.
I mean, I know cats that make beats still doing with Fruity Loops. It's like the free version. You can't knock it. That's kind of another thing that I'm interested to know about. Like, how do you feel about the climate of everyone being able to record?
Well, that's how this exists, so I feel very good about it.
You've been doing it a lot longer than that's been available.
True, but never in this way or method. Yeah, I used to have a full 4-track tape recorder that I used to do stuff. And even actually before that,
I borrowed it from you one time. I wasn't sure you ever came back to you.
It did. I ended up giving it to my nephew, I think.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. But yeah, I had that, and so that was that part of tape culture. And before that, I got mad at a friend, who fucked me over, and we were both really into music and everything. And the only way I thought to get back at him was to make this crazy ass mixtape of emotions and put them in. I was fucking emo as hell before there was emo.
That's awesome.
Oh, it freaked him out. It did the trick. He was
awesome.
like, "What the fuck is this?"
That is very awesome.
Yeah.
I mean, that's hip hop tactics.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's classic hip hop tactics, man. That's like.
Hip hop tactics with a little bit of creepiness in it.
I mean, I think that anytime you put a guitar and crank it a little bit too hard to where it distorts, it's always going to give it that creepy vibe.
True.
It's not gonna.
But this was even more just taking existing music and broken CDs and mixing them on, recording them on a cassette. Because I had a little player that had the CD and tape.
Do you still have that?
I might somewhere way back.
I would like to hear that.
It was pretty nuts.
I'm sure it probably is.
And so I'm just using CDs mixing, knowing what I wanted on there for it. That was a weird experience. And I think that's really what started me on it. There you go, exclusive.
What year do you think that was?
It was probably around 96, 97.
Do I know the person that you're talking about?
I don't know. I'm not going to say their name. We'll do that off record.
Yeah. It's probably me. Daniel Chavez.
It was not. You would remember that tape, sir.
No, I think that I was so far in the ether, I
didn't meet you way in college, so this was back in high school.
That's what I'm saying, yeah. And I was always floater.
Anyway, so that's the start of Pizza Hells back then, and then I met people that actually gave it a title and a purpose.
At what moment did you realize, okay, this is Pizza Hell Records. Now this is what's going to be?
When we released the first Gloom Cocoon underneath Pizza Hell Studios. And it was under, we released it through Academia Tapes Plus.
Now which one of these is it?
That's the first one. So it's got it's the coyote dog or whatever. Yeah, that thing. So that thing right there too. I can't remember the name of it. It's a group of them in New York, and it's the first breed that they've seen where it made it. It's a coyote that made it with a dog, and produced that, and it's like a crossbreeding or cross genus kind of thing.
Was their tongue?
Yes, that came from a picture, and Jason traced it. So that's the New York Coyote Hound.
Just so you can name drop. I mean, I know that it's your label, right?
Yeah.
It's your label. Who are some people that you would like to just kind of say are integral in your label? Aside from Lydia, she's an amazing person, and I'm sure she's been super supportive of you.
She lets me get away with it.
Right.
But yeah. She's also participated somewhat begrudgingly, but I think she enjoys it as well. She's two voices out of the post-punk animations.
Y'all have literal music together.
We do.
In the punk duck.
Duck the god dang punk.
Duck the punk. I got his T-shirt.
Yeah, that's the Negative E's. That's the group we shortly had for a while. That now she's not going to be able to play bass for, unfortunately.
Oh, it's only a matter of time.
Yeah.
Would you care to give the story of what happened?
Oh, that breaking news. No, she broke her wrist.
Breaking news.
Broke her wrist skating around, being awesome.
She's been awesome for a long time, skating wise.
Fucking awesome. She's gnarly as hell. It just happened to be that one moment where she had a bunch of speed and not enough balance.
Not speed, but she had literal speed.
Yeah. She's on skates, man.
Not myth.
She got a ton of speed. But I tell you though, after breaking her wrist, and it was, shit, I mean, we got people in the hospital going, like.
Yeah, everybody's getting the shivers.
Yeah. But she's just cracking jokes through most of it.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Even before the drugs.
The good stuff.
Very much.
She's definitely a huge part of it. Is there anybody else that you think,
Well, Jason Walter definitely, because a lot of that stuff has been, like, our intention and ideas put together and are going off the comics that he's made. Like, we've made a bunch of music from the comics that he's done.
I mean, were you working with him on those comics in any way as they were come before you put music to it?
So for the Pizza Perry story, that's the one that I actually wrote for the Pizza Chronicles, or Cannibals.
Right.
Yeah. I'm trying to remember if we did the music before or after it was written. I want to say it was after, but he had already had a few of the songs established. And then we started adding to it. It was pretty much a jam session where he came in and played guitar and recorded it. He had a couple of these things written down, and I would get on drums while he was playing guitar. And then did a couple of backing guitar and bass, and then had Carrie come and do the solo stuff over it. But yeah, that was a wonderful fucking project right there, where it was like, here's the comic drawn by Jason that I pretty much wrote with some edits and stuff from him, and all the songs that we created. Fuck.
Yeah, it's a good feeling too when you finally sit down and actually get to hear it.
Right.
And that's a real, like, real thing,
And to this day, like, I still go back to it. Like, I'll take a little while, go back and listen to it, and I still feel pretty good about the album.
Yeah.
Like, most things, you get it, when you first do it, you're really excited, and you're, like, super pumped to get it out there, but then you take a step back and come back to it. Not all the time do you get something that still really works for you.
Right.
Still feels that tension. That one.
I mean, I haven't yet to make one single song, personally, that I enjoy listening to. You know what I'm saying?
Really?
I mean, it's just, I think that once aside from the stuff I've been doing with Bad Glamour, this isn't about me, but just to roll through, and it is if you get to that point where you like your own music, you know what I'm saying?
We should. You haven't been selfish and been like, I'm making this for me. This is what I need right now.
That's where I messed up personally.
Okay.
At first. But that's
never make music for anybody else, because then it won't be you, and people will know it won't be you.
Right.
I think that's what it comes down to. But for anybody else, I mean, take your personal spin. You gotta dig deep, Danny. You gotta get in there, raw butter it, and get it.
It's not prison talk, by the way.
Oh shit. Okay.
That's the real deal.
Yeah, it's real.